Can you believe this is Los Angeles? Usually you think big downtown. You have to live in Los Angeles. This is the place. Hi, my name is Dave and I live in Los Angeles. And this is my Janus Halcyon. I'll show you the options that I got. I got the number plate, of course, the hand-plated number plate. I picked vintage red. I really liked how the vintage red contrasts with the saddle brown leather. And I got the double pinstripe black and gold. And since I wanted the 450 originally, I got the tank that's usually seen on the 450. I really like that. I got the headlight visor and LED headlight. Got the tie downs just in case. The highway bars. The polished fins. And let's see. Got the second mirror. The engraved gas cap. And the leather tool bag. And I guess that's it for Janus options. As for non-Janus options, I did replace the beep beep horn with a honk honk horn, and I installed this old style tail light, and I did this bolt-on kit with a larger carburetor and more open exhaust, and I guess that solved my 450 quandary. I have no problem going on the freeway keeping up with 65-mile-an-hour traffic. I originally thought I would get the book rack, but there's just something about the clean lines. I really like the lines of the fender, and I didn't want to disrupt that with the book rack. Oh, one other Janus option. I got the Janus tool roll, and this is really great. This is made by Janus, the wax canvas tool roll, and I have all the Janus recommended tools. Everything I need to work on this bike. A lot of them came from my grandfather. Well, almost all his tools are in my garage, so things that I had duplicates for, I filled in here. So they were old American-made Craftsman tools, but where I was short, I actually went on eBay to find the matching number World War II era made in U.S. Craftsman tools. So those are my tools. All right, well that's probably enough about the bike. Let's go for a ride. Alright, so I live in Los Angeles, the city limits, but as you can see, I'm right up against the foothill. I'm literally 2 blocks. This is such a great place. I've got probably half a dozen rides, good rides that I can take from my place here. I'm going to take you today, Lower Big Tujunga Canyon Road, Lower Big T, to Angeles Forest Highway, to Angeles Crest Highway. So you see, I leave my house, I'm literally 2 blocks from this great road. It's probably about an hour ride. Before daylight savings time, if I come home from work and don't have much time for a decent ride,
I'll take Little T, not Big T, Little Tujunga Road. It's about a half-hour ride. Riding along the LA River here. You might get a glimpse of it. Hopefully there's no work today on a Saturday. Can you believe this is Los Angeles? Usually you think big downtown. You have to live in Los Angeles. This is the place. A lot of good hikes from around here too. Maybe you can tell it bounces a little bit. That's the seat springs. So who needs rear suspension? Seat springs are great. It's plenty comfortable. You do feel the road. It's not like that Suzuki Boulevard. That's like riding on a car though, where you're just sitting in a cushy seat and gliding along. So sure, you feel the road, but in a good way.
I first started riding when I was about 13. My parents sent me to motorcycle summer camp, and my dad bought me a 175 Enduro, used Enduro, and I rode that around on trails all over Washington State where I grew up. And then when I turned 16, I put lights and mirrors on it, and I'm on the road. In college, I had a Hurricane 600, and in grad school, I had a CX 500 Custom. My wife and I rode around a lot together until we had a baby, and that was pretty much it for motorcycles for the next 20 years. And then a few years ago I realized, you know, that baby doesn't even live here anymore. So I bought a Suzuki Boulevard C50T, which is a 800cc touring bike. That was fine, but so I guess the internet knew I was into motorcycles and started showing me ads and so on, and that's how I found Janus. And I thought, oh, this is really cool. So I kept looking at them, but not seriously at first. I guess I needed an excuse, and then finally that came in the form of a sale. I was on Janus's mailing list, and there was going to be a sale. I'm like, oh, I gotta take advantage of the sale. My wife's like, well, you don't even know if you like it. I mean, other than you like it, you don't even know if you would fit on it. If it's comfortable. Like, yeah, I guess you're right. So we had a trip planned to Indiana the following year, so we thought, well, we'll just wait till next year. We'll go to Indiana anyway. We'll make a trip up to Goshen, and then I can ride them. Well, I could not think about it. And I remember one night I was laying up thinking, I ought to call Janus, and I bet maybe I could ask if they have anyone in Southern California that owns one that let me come sit on it. And I kid you not, the very next day they sent out an email blast about a test ride they were having in San Diego. And this was before, by the way, the ambassador program. So it was perfect. It was only about 3 hours away. And I knew just what I wanted. I'd gone through the configurator, building tool, over and over, always coming up with pretty much the same thing. I knew I wanted a 450. I didn't really like the idea of a hardtail, and I wanted to be able to go on the freeway. So the 450 was kind of a no-brainer. All I needed to know was whether or not it was comfortable, if I could sit on it, if I could like the way it rode, and so on. So I went down there, got on the 450, and I hadn't even gotten out of second gear before I decided, yep, this is it. This is perfect. It was awesome. So we rode around some more that day, and I rode the Griffin. That was pretty neat. It's a little different, kind of a more aggressive stance. I didn't ride the 250 though, because I didn't need to. I already decided on the 450. What's what I wanted. And I was talking to Mitch and Kyle, and he's like, you're here, you might as well ride the 250. I'm like, yeah, okay. I was so mad. I liked it better. I didn't want to like the 250 better. I wanted the 450. There was something about it. It just, for me anyway, it stuck to the turn better, and I just liked the way it felt. I really wanted the 450, so then I'm in kind of a quandary. And it really was, I couldn't decide for the next few weeks anyway. Finally, I talked to a lot of people, I talked to people, Janus, other people that have one. Finally, what decided it for me was the simplicity. I mean, not that the 450 is overly complex, but there's just something about a cylinder and a carburetor, and that's it. I just really like the pure simplicity of the 250. So that's what I got, and I don't regret it a bit. It's been a blast.
So how about this? Not too bad, huh? I get on this road just 2 blocks from my house, from the city of LA, and now I'm in the mountains. That was nice. had one guy. You meet a lot of people at gas stations that want to stop and talk. It's pretty cool. It really happens. Only one guy, some sport bike rider, like, yeah, it's pretty cool, but I would never want one because I like to carve up the canyons and stuff. I don't know what he's thinking. The Janus does is great. Okay, I don't ride as fast as they do, I guess. But I have worn off the nubs on my foot pegs a little bit, so. Never have done that if he hadn't given me room. That's a good half turnaround point if I want a short ride. Alright, so this is lower Big Tujunga Canyon. Now we're going to hook up with Angeles Forest Highway. Turn left, it goes over the mountains to Palmdale. Turn right. We hook up with Angeles Crest Highway eventually. all right. I'm not a big talker when I ride. I like to just flow with the turns, think about the road. Alright, so this is Angeles Crest Highway. Pretty popular route. Most people come straight up Angeles Crest. So we'll go up a little more. This road goes on and on for quite a ways, and there's a lot of great twisties. I'm going to turn off at Mount Wilson though. I figured I'd take you up to the Mount Wilson Observatory. So coming from town, not where I came from, Lower Big T, but straight up Angeles Crest where it starts in La Cañada. It's 19 miles to the no, 14 miles. It's 14 miles to the turnoff to Mount Wilson. 19 miles from town all the way up to the observatory. There are 180 turns. I counted them once. 90 in the first 14 and the other 90 in the last 5. This turn is funky because it doesn't have a constant radius. Oh yeah, I used to work up here. That's how I know all the turns. I worked for UC Berkeley as an astrophysicist. I worked at the station at the Mount Wilson Observatory up here, and I got to live there. nice Mustang. Right, we sometimes say we just keep going straight here. It's really nice. We're going to turn on Mount Wilson Red Box Road. This is more for the destination though. This road gets kind of sketchy. All the rocks, or better said, all the surprise rocks. Like I said, this is 5 miles long and has 90 turns. This is 5 miles long and has 90 turns. Oh, and the gravel. Probably can't see it on the camera, but there's lots of rocks and gravel I'm trying to avoid. Coming up around this turn, you see the observatory. Well, maybe. I don't know if you see it on the camera. You see the 100-inch dome, 150-foot solar tower. one point, the Mount Wilson Observatory had the largest telescopes in the world. So it was founded 1904. It was the first solar telescope. George Ellery Hale put a solar telescope up there. And then another one in 1906. And then 1908. 1908 was when the 60-inch telescope was built. And that was the largest telescope in the world until he built the 100-inch telescope. Then that was the largest telescope in the world until he designed the, and those are all here at Mount Wilson. Then he designed the 200-inch telescope, which was going to go to Palomar. He didn't live to see it completed, but when it was completed, that was the largest telescope in the world. And that's still functioning. In fact, I work on that one now. This is the halfway point. 2.5 miles to go. Starting to get noticeably cooler now. Mount Wilson is about 5,700 feet. Probably dropped a good five or maybe not quite 10 degrees. There's the observatory. See, these trees are all burned. The last fire, the fire got right up here. Burned some TV tower structures, but fortunately almost everything was saved. Yeah, you see these black trees. Oh yeah, here's the building that burned down. Too bad it's not clear. When it's clear, you can see all the way out to the ocean. You can see Catalina Island, see downtown. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's anything to see today. Let's see if I can take you to the observatory. I don't work here anymore, but I used to. It's been long enough that no one's gonna, well, not very many people are gonna remember me. So we'll see if anybody stops me. So this has nothing to do with motorcycle or Janus, but hey, I'm here. I might as well show you the observatory. That's the 150-foot solar telescope. Museum. That's the 60-inch telescope. And that there is the 100-inch telescope. My house I used to live in is just right down there. Let's see if I can go inside.
Yeah, they're made in Indiana, handmade, custom built to order.
So is it all to order? Like what's the customization part?
Hey, Larry.
How you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Fine. Whoa! I see what you're into now.
Yeah.
Isn't it something?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Here's the 100-inch telescope. At one point, the largest telescope in the world, built by George Ellery Hale. Let's go inside. Check out the old phone. There's some lights. Ah, yeah, this is this is not used anymore, but this was for an eyepiece, as you can, maybe you can see in this picture here. Oh, that would have been, that looks like Hubble. Oh yeah, and that's probably the famous Hubble chair. All right. And this blue thing here, this goes on the end of the telescope. It holds, it's an option, holds a mirror, secondary mirror. All right, let's go up inside here. There we go. Notice it's all riveted. They didn't do welding back then. This is all built by shipbuilders. And to support the weight, down here and up there are two bearings, and basically this floats in mercury. That's a mercury bearing there and a mercury bearing there. You know how wood floats in water? Well, because water is denser than wood, mercury is very dense, and so you can it's actually essentially floating in these pools of mercury there. So light comes down through the telescope, and on the back here is a big mirror, and it reflects up to either a secondary mirror at the top and then back down to a third mirror at the side, or various other options for getting the light out. Right now they've got one secondary, tertiary, and then out this little thing here for eyepiece observing. Anyway, that's the 100-inch telescope, built in 1917. And all this rack here, this is for getting the chair up to the eyepiece when it's in various orientations on the sky. Here we are on the catwalk of the 100-inch telescope. Down there's the Janus. Or there's my old house. I don't know how well it's coming out on the camera, but pretty cool view. Ah, and you see the line out there. Here's the highway, and just Crest Hwy. So here I am with my Janus at the Mount Wilson Observatory, 100-inch telescope in the background. This is at the end of my my ride up Angeles Crest Hwy. And even up here, you saw I mean, the Janus got the attention of two other people. You know, it's just so unique. You know, the guy came over and, oh, what is that? I haven't seen a bike from the teens before. I'm like, no, that's a new one. So it's pretty funny. It really does happen. We get stopped a lot, and it's just fun talking about the Janus and having an American-made bike, and I just feel good about that and all the people at Janus, and I'm just really happy being part of this this Janus family, I guess, for lack of a better word. So anyway, I will get back on the Halcyon and head down Angeles Crest again. Alright, well, thanks for going on a ride with me. I really like this bike, and I never get tired of riding it. If you're in Southern California, then get a hold of Janus, and they'll put you in touch with me as an ambassador. I would love to meet you somewhere, or have you come over here and check out the bike in person and show you what Janus is all about. Thanks.